So Alex Jones is known for being a one-trick pony when it comes to shootings, right? We already know the content of what this video is going to say.
False flag.
Fake. Prediction. Yeah, there you go. It was staged.
There you go. Kyle wins the $1. He gets the.
That was what I was saying.
I know, but he used the actual key word there. Staging it. So, well, let's just let him talk because they're gonna. I don't know how the fuck in these small towns, crisis actors and all this staged shit that they're talking about just happens to come into these towns while people are being shot to fucking death and nobody notices. Nobody in the small town noticed that what's going on, or, what's more plausible? Was it a white guy killing people because he's unhinged? Or was it because, the FBI and staging shit and covering it up so you could buy supplements because they got lead in them and that'll protect you from the bullets? All right, let's let Alex and whoever the fuck this guy is talking with him is.
But this thing backfired, just like you said, Alex, it backfired. The guy came out, one of the neighbors came out with his AR-15.
NRA instructor.
Took the bull by the horns.
Talking about the guy that shot.
Did he?
Did he say
I thought he had a
NRA
shotgun.
instructor?
Yeah, he said he was an NRA instructor.
Oh,
I thought the guy that shot the guy who had a shotgun, not an AR-15.
I honestly don't know, and I don't care enough because that's not the
Doesn't
shot
really
that
matter.
dispatched him. It's
Doesn't
not the one
really
that got
matter.
him because he killed himself. That's the thing.
Did he? I thought he was shot by the guy.
No, he self-inflicted. He self-inflicted in the car after he called his dad. So
yeah.
So the good guy with the gun was not a thing.
There
was
Got it.
not the thing
The
that
guy with the gun, didn't do anything.
The shooter came around the front.
Because he was going to go to a bigger church.
Yeah.
a bigger church in that town of 600 people.
A bigger church.
Fine. Show me.
Was it there a stake center there somewhere? I don't, a ward? A couple of wards? I don't think so.
They said he was well armed. He had plenty more ammunition. He might have went down the road.
Notice Trump's getting good intel briefings. He said day one, mentally ill, and it could have been a lot worse, hundreds more, because they already had the data that he was going to go to a bunch of other churches.
I've done a thing on this.
Bunch of
If you've ever had a cold, you have suffered from mental illness. Not because you had a cold, but because they're both really common. And mental illness is kind of a thing. And illness is a relative term. It doesn't mean like you're crazy. It just means that brains are weird and they do weird shit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they require a check-in.
Hey, they overheat themselves to try to kill diseases all the time, even though it knows that it'll kill you in the see
Yeah, no, bodies are weird, brains are weird, evolution is fucked.
Fucking hypothalamus. God damn it.
Fucking evolution, man. It's a shit system.
Because it's systems. It is systems.
I've said multiple times, you can sit on your own balls. Evolution
It
is
is
bullshit.
Evolution is, I'm not going to say bullshit, but the way that it works sucks only because it's a system slapped on top of another system, slapped on top of another system, slapped on top of another one.
Vagina can get infections from the hole next to it.
Right.
What the fuck?
Right.
Like, what the absolute fuck?
Our bodies are able to develop stone-like features within them in these areas that are not supposed to have anything larger than a couple of molecules go through them.
It's ridiculous. Evolution is just shit. And
for the most part, it works because we're still here.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
Most people don't die off before they reproduce.
Right.
That's the reality.
That's all it exists for, people. That's what we exist for.
So, with all the ways the not brain can malfunction, the brain can malfunction. You see, for every time that you've needed to go to the doctor for a weird thing going on in the trunk of you, you've probably had a couple where you could have checked in with a professional for the thing going on in the most complex organ. And yes, it's generally protected from disease because of this wonderful little barrier. But things still go wrong in there. And humans that's great. That's fine. Mental illness is fine. And you're fine. But that is not, most mental illness is not, in fact, causing death. No, that's hate. That's hate.
Yeah.
And while it's still not a logical thing, it does not mean it's a malfunction in the brain or an evolutionary adaptation in the brain.
I just find it interesting that he's saying that hundreds of other people, a town of 600, where the fuck is he going to go to get hundreds more?
Well, clearly, he was going to the Waffle House.
Fucking Waffle Houses. Oh, man. I remember those. For nobody that's been out East Coast, you have no idea what the fuck a Waffle House is. It's like a Denny's, but with more criminals working there.
Right. And better food.
Better food. Yeah, I'll give you that.
And so there's a civil war going on to embarrass Trump. I mean, no doubt this is staged. And the media is going to spin it and say that I said it didn't happen.
Staged.
No.
And he's going to say it didn't happen, but
done.
they're going to say it's staged. What the fuck does staged mean at that point, then, if it's not fake?
That's not what I said. They let him out of that mental institution when he was planning to kill his command chain. They let him go. They knew this is all Obama. Just like Major Hassan, they protected him for 2 years when he was in daily contact with Al-Qaeda planning the massacre.
Because things fall through the cracks, dude. How are you going to blame Obama for this? Holy shit.
Because he's black.
Fucking hell.
Why did they let him do that?
Well, they let this stuff fall through.
They called it guns. They said it wasn't Islamic terror. That was... Go ahead.
Well, they let it all fall through the cracks, and then they use it to their advantage.
They avoided saying radical Islamic terrorism because they don't want to lump in the shitty people with the decent people.
No.
Oh, no, because they found that saying that itself actually increases radicalization. And it doesn't matter if your words are the truth, if they increase radicalization. It's kind of funny, but humans are emotional beings. And sometimes effectiveness rather than truth matters more.
Bastards. Just a whole bunch of bastards. I don't understand how it could be staged. Well, staged because they lit the guy out of the insane asylum. Do you know how many fucking variables you would have to track? And you know how much kind of social engineering you need to do to a guy to get him to go specifically shoot up the church where his in-laws were?
And your guys are running the government. Your guys. You have the House, you have the Senate, and you have the presidency. And you still think the government's keeping shit from you?
Deep state.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
A lot.
A lot. Just, wow. I don't even have words for it because I don't think you can get through. Just like other people in our lives right now, you can't get through the fucking barrier. The best you can hope to do is put out a voice out there where it says, look, this is complete bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Other people might agree with it, but you'll get that one person out of 1,000 will be like, wait a minute, this is actual bullshit. What the fuck am I listening to this for? And then they move on to something else. Break the programming, people, because fucking hell. Not chemtrails. The frogs are not turning gay because of certain things in the water. It's none of that shit. Stop it. Stop listening to people like this.
27 people really did die, so it's fine.
Yeah. No.
Oh, he's not denying that 27 people died. What he's trying to say is that the shadow government put into motion that this guy would go murder people so they could take away guns. Guess what, Alex? They're not taking away any fucking guns.
It's never fucking happened. Not once.
They're not. They can't. They can't.
And it's not going to happen ever.
Constitutional convention.
2020. Maybe we'll get the 2/3 majority. Who knows? Vote every goddamn time.
Vote every time.
Were these elections this week sexy? No, but they were necessary.
Shit. Still got out there.
Yep.